Well, it's 3 days from the pure stock drags, and it's time to get the hardtop ready to go. I haven't had it out a lot this summer. I've been driving the other cars, but I need to get her ready for the drive up and some racing. Unfortunately, I've got a little bit of work to do. I had some problems with the carburetor on the convertible, and so I wanted to drive that down to Indy for the national meet, so I grabbed the carb off of this, plus a few other things. So I got to get this one whipped into shape today. So thought I'd just show you that, get that going, and then tell you a little bit about how my weekend's going to go. Well, I obviously need to get my second carburetor working correctly, and just don't have time for that right now. So we're going to grab this one. This is the carb that usually is on the hardtop, and I tuned my carburetors with an O2 sensor, so this one's been tuned. I got an O2 bung on both cars, but the tune on this is from the hardtop from the last time I raced it, so this one's a pretty good setup. So I'm going to grab that off and we will put that on the hardtop. Well, as you've probably figured out, I'm not a real YouTuber and I'm not a good video guy. So if you saw my setup from my phone camera, it's pretty hokey, but we'll try this. I've had some friends ask to put more video on instead of just the slideshow photos. So I'm going to do some of that today and see how that works out. But this will just give you an idea of what it takes to pull this thing apart, and it shouldn't take too long. Get all the hoses disconnected. Well, our plan for the weekend is to drive up to Stanton on Friday. That's about a 2.5 hour drive. Then we're going to qualify on Friday, spend the night, do practice on Saturday, and then race Saturday afternoon. Then we got to drive 2.5 hours home. Then I have to clean the car because Sunday morning at 7 a.m. I've got to have this car at Eyes on Design at the Edsel Ford Estate in Grosse Pointe. So I've got to drive it, race it, clean it, and show it all in 3 days. So not too bad, but just going to be a lot of work getting everything cleaned up and looking good and running good. And it wouldn't have been my choice for how I do the weekend, but with COVID, the Eyes on Design show got postponed. And when it landed on top of the pure stocks, I wasn't going to miss that. So just kind of make adjustments and do what you got to do. Okay, we got the fuel line disconnected. Oh, I got to get the choke line. Got the vacuum lines disconnected. Got the throttle disconnected. There's the choke. Now we'll take out the 4 1/2-inch screws with the carburetor loose. Get some of these washers off. Oh, baby. And with that, we should be pretty close. And there we go. We got our carburetor. So now that we got the carburetor off, we're done dismantling the convertible, but this is only a temporary solution. I've got to drive this in a homecoming parade coming up in a few weeks, so I need to get on the stick and get that other AFB running correctly. So just a temporary problem. I hate not having the convertible going because it's a fun car to drive. So with that, let's move over to the hardtop and we'll start putting that together. Well, as some of you probably know, Robin and I take turns driving this car in the drags, and this year it's my turn, so don't be disappointed if you get there. She will be there, but she won't be driving. I know when we were going down to the Studebaker Nationals, I was planning on driving that until we found out that there were going to be some spectators coming to watch Robin race. And of course, we will never disappoint Robin's fan base. So she got to drive that event, and therefore I get to drive this one. So it'll be a good time. But it's fun to share the driving duties. She had a really good run last year, and now it puts the pressure on me to match her results this year. Not that we're competitive, we are both each other's biggest cheerleaders. I love tuning for her, but it just makes it fun. We just like to have a good time, have fun with our friends when we're at the drag strip, and this year should be no different. I got the vacuum lines on, got the choke line on. With the throttle linkage hooked up. Yes, ma'am, I am.
Guys, it's going to be a great weekend.
It's going to be great.
I'm probably going to maybe turn the air back on today because it's supposed to be humid and we're supposed to get maybe big storms again this afternoon. And then tomorrow high of like 78 and then like perfect weekend. Look at your phone.
See that? Get the carburetor back on.
Awesome.
Yep, and we're videotaping it for YouTube.
Oh, I'm in the video?
Of course you are.
Hello.
So I told them that I apologize that Robin won't be driving this year.
Yeah.
But her fans, she will still be there.
I'll show Neil everything that I know about reaction time, so you better get off the line fast and don't red light.
I'm not saying she's competitive, but she is damn good off the line.
I just get to be the cheerleader this time.
That's the, no, she gets to be the crew chief. I get to let her do the tuning, so.
All right, well, I'll be in.
All right, dear.
We'll see you at the races.
Yep. General rule of thumb at the track is nobody wants to lose to a Studebaker, and they sure as heck don't want to lose to a bubbly little blonde drag racing a Studebaker. And unfortunately for the competitors, many of them have gone home losing to Robin in this car. So she is quite good at driving. Like I say, no pressure for me, but we're both running, I don't know, 15.7 right now, about 86 mile an hour. I've had it as fast as 15.1, 92 mile an hour at Martin, but I don't think we're going to repeat that. I think I just had a good day. Carb tuning is basically the same. I'll set the timing once I get to the track. And we are getting pretty doggone close here. The nice thing about these cars, it's easy to do these carburetors pretty quick. It's almost easier to pull the carb when you're tuning, especially when you're doing the rear jets. You can get it on and off the car just about as fast as reaching over and pulling the jets out. I'm running stock rear jets on this. I have had it leaner, and I don't know if I'm giving up a little bit of power by doing that. My air fuel at watts around 12.5. In cruise, I'm like 13.5, 14 right in there. So I'm probably going to be a little fatter than that 12.5 number when we go back to the track. So yeah, I think we're pretty much done there. Now let's go ahead and put the battery in. The battery was loaned out to a friend for the national meet, since it's a reproduction of the original Willard battery. And he was showing his car, so I let him borrow that, and I just got that back. Always good to lend stuff to friends. That's what keeps car clubs going. So, for as long as I've had this apart, it's nice to get her back together again and get her ready to go. Yeah, we'll drive it the full 2.5 hours up to Stanton. We'll never trailer this thing. It's just too much fun to drive. And I'll hook up the race tap. I got a shift light on it. And then do tire pressure, idle speed, the basics. Then we'll race it all weekend, then we'll turn around and we'll bring it home. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Let's give her a crank, see what happens. That's how we do that. All right, I think we're good. All right, I think a test drive is going to be in order here. She's idling nice. Fortunately, I cleaned it up earlier in the year, so I don't think I got to do much tidying up. You got to look good when you're at the racetrack. And the cleaner I get it now, the easier it's going to be to keep it clean when I go to Eyes on Design. So I'm going to see if we can go for a little test drive.